All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the, May 9th. Okay, May 9th, guys. We are in the 5th month of the year. Hopefully you're rocking and rolling. And today we are very fortunate from the lovely state of California. Out in the desert, we have Darci Hope. Darci, if you could hit *6 on your phone so we can hear you, that'd be great.
Hey. Hello.
There she is. Darci Hope. You even have a positive, even your name's positive.
That's right. It's a state of positive expectation, which you need for real estate.
That's right. Well, do me a favor. You can hear that bell. That's just more people coming on, so don't worry about that.
Yes.
Tell them a little about yourself, how long you've been doing this, all that good stuff, please.
Okay, well, my name is Darci Hope. I actually grew up in Palm Desert, so this is my hometown, and I've been doing real estate for about 6 years. Owned property and rentals before that, and my husband was a real estate sales trainer. So it was the perfect transition to his seminar promotion for us to come off the road and for me to get into real estate and help sell my favorite place, which is my hometown.
Wow, that's great. So 6 years now, too. So, and last year you finished, I can't remember exactly the number, but you did really well last year.
I did, yeah. I think I ended up doing $18.5 million last year. So it was gangbusters for sure.
Wow, congratulations. That's a lot of deals, so congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah, it was 35 houses.
35 houses. Okay, now by yourself, do you have a team? Just because I know people are thinking that.
I do have a team. I have someone that helps me out, Annalisa Cheney. She did a couple of houses. You know, she's getting up and running, and I'm supporting her as much as I can.
Nice. Okay, so 35 homes. That's great. So tell me, just give me an idea of your breakdown. Like, is it from your sphere? Do you do other types of prospecting? How do you sell 35 homes in a year?
You know, I do a lot of digital advertising, and I do my best to stay in really close contact with my clients because I found through monitoring my numbers that my sphere of influence actually produces a higher price point than, you know, the random one-offs that I get any other way. So just staying really close and really tight with them, and I usually become friends with my clients, so it's easy to do.
Yeah, you say, yeah, exactly. They become, because you know, in the course of real estate traction, you become close to people, right? You want their best
you talk every day. It's emotional.
Right.
Yep.
It is a relationship. It really is.
Yeah.
All right, cool. All right, so and right before we started the call, you mentioned you're in a good place right now. Things are rocking. Tell us a little about how things are going right now.
Yeah, things are going great. I like to have about 5 in escrow. I think for me, because I'm very competitive, I'm always raising the bar for myself. So I got used to last year having around 5 in escrow. So now the bar is set. If I have any less, honestly, I feel like a failure. So I'm back at 5 in escrow, and what's great about these 5 is that they're all over $1 million, and it's taken this long to get there. So I'm really happy and hope that I can keep this momentum going.
Wow, congratulations. Now, when you say it's taken a long time to get there, are you talking about in that price range?
The price point, yeah. So before it was easy for me to have 5 in escrow, but there's a big difference between having 5, 500 and below in escrow or $1 million and above in escrow.
Right, that's a big difference. And what exactly has, what's the difference for you? Is it experience, time, where you're working, a little of all the above?
Yeah, it's pretty much everything, really. I branched out into some different cities. I was really focused on Palm Springs. That's an incredibly, competitive market. I love it. That's where the mid-century modern homes are, but there's also a lot of agents. We're getting a huge influx from LA, and that's very frustrating because they have a different way of doing business, that's for sure. And it was, getting really difficult at the beginning of the year to keep my head in the right space. And a friend of mine who's also with Berkshire Hathaway told me that my attitude needed an adjustment because I was getting kind of beat down. And so I started doing, positive affirmations and keeping a good, self-talk going. And lo and behold, a few months later, they say the harder you work, the luckier you get. But it's that as well as your mindset. And I mean, I guess I kind of manifested it, it seems, because I didn't really do anything that different. I just kept my head in the right place and focused on the right things.
Yeah, because last year, if you do your numbers, 35, 18 and a half, you're right around 530,000 average sale price. So this is big, right? Even though 530 is a great sales price, right? But this is huge.
It is. Right, but out here, you're either selling little condos at, in the around 400, because we have plenty of that out here, but it's very competitive. So you can write 5, 7 offers and not get something because cash swoops in and offers, 100,000 more and blows everyone else out of the water. So that price point can be, tough. And above, it's still very competitive, excuse me, and you're definitely dealing with a lot of cash, but it's just better. You're going and you're showing prettier houses. The people have bought and sold homes before, so every dollar isn't the end of the world. It's just, more pleasant, but it takes time to get there. I bless the hearts of the new agents who can come in and sell a $1 million house, their first deal, and just end up in that price point, but I've fought my way to get here and I'm going to enjoy it.
Yeah, it reminds me, I was watching this thing on this little clip on social media, and it was Marilyn Monroe in a movie explaining, like she was dating some guy and she was explaining to his, because the father was concerned, hey, I think you're just dating my son for his money. And she basically explained to him, I don't know if you ever saw that little clip, but says, well, it's, that's part of the equation. I mean, it's nice when you date a nice man that has money too, right? Just like when you date a nice girl who's good looking too.
Exactly.
So when you're doing the same transactions, Darci, and you're making twice as much, it's okay.
Right.
It's fun, isn't it?
Exactly. It's very fun. And then you don't. So what happened last year, I did $13 million in the first quarter. So I was really burned out, and it was hard I was working 12, 14-hour days like for months. And I believe in a work-life balance. I don't want to be that person. I don't want to be a workaholic. I sell this lifestyle because I enjoy this lifestyle too. So when you're up in a higher price point, you don't have to sell as many houses to do the same amount. So it's much more enjoyable.
Right. Exactly. And I know people are thinking this, so I'm going to ask you the question. The difference between the person you're dealing with at 500 versus $1 million, is there a big difference between, the type of person you're talking to and how they are to deal with?
Yes. Well, they're a lot more relaxed, and they're not calling me 8 o'clock at night, freaking out, They asked, like I got an inspection report. He asked for 2 very simple repairs, not everything under the sun. I have the same conversation every day. Like, that's not a health and safety issue. We can't really ask for that. I'm sorry, there's a bump in the concrete, but the bump in the concrete's been there a while, and they're not going to fix that. So, and my $1.3 million buyer's like, oh, just have him fix the toilet that's running. We're good.
Right. Well, the reason I ask you that question is because most agents, I should say, think it's the exact opposite, that these million and plus sellers and buyers are way high maintenance. And, I have found it to be just the opposite. So I wanted them to hear you say that too, because it just seems like they're, I
mean, there's definitely bigger egos in this price range. I've definitely dealt with that. But with these buyers, it's just been very enjoyable. They ask the right questions instead of the crazy questions. And I appreciate everyone. I mean, I will say the lower price point can be more appreciative. But I'm working with some incredibly grateful people, and it's just very rewarding. We don't always have the best people don't always have the best perception about agents. So to be working with people that are incredibly grateful for how hard I'm working and what I'm able to pull off for them is so rewarding and just exactly what I needed at this point. Like, oh, good, this is the right thing. What I'm doing makes sense. People appreciate me.
Yeah, that's true too. And you're right. That's such a great point, because this business, and I'm not bad mouthing anybody, but this business is full of people who don't take the business as seriously as you do.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I call agents all the time to schedule doings, and it says call for appointment, and they don't answer my call, answer my text, and it just drives me nuts, because I know if I had that listing, I would be bending over backwards for my sellers. And so I wonder how they get it, why they got it, how I can get one, because I know I do a better job.
Right. Well, a lot of them don't, especially in a market like this, a lot of them don't understand the fiduciary responsibility, which is to get them the highest and best.
Yeah.
So they have somebody so there's a lot of double ending going on right now, and I have no problem with double ending.
I don't either. As long as they're still doing their job. If it works out that way, but don't not take my call because you're already working another offer. Yeah, there's a lot going on now that wasn't going on a few years ago that's kind of disappointing. With, ethics and things like that. Just stuff.
Yeah. So true, and it's crazy if you think about it, because you're supposed to be taking the seller, or if your buyer's under contract, you're supposed to be putting their needs in front of your own, and I don't think a lot of agents understand that.
Right, exactly. Yep, I agree.
Which is frustrating when someone's as professional as you. I understand. I remember, look, I've been doing this for 38 years. I remember before lock boxes, when you had to bring keys. Yeah, you had to go to the office.
Oh my gosh.
Keys, and guess what agents would do when they had a buyer? Oh, I forgot to bring the keys back, but here's my contract 2 days later. Right? So they would do stuff like that too, yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's crazy. I can't imagine.
Yeah. So I remember the day lockboxes came out, I was like, oh my God, it's like it was the greatest thing ever, right?
Yeah, I bet.
Anyway, I've been around since before the internet and was involved in real estate, and it was totally different then, but it's
I bet. Yeah, I just can't imagine how this job was even done. Everyone, all the old timer agents, we do deal on napkins, and I've got clients calling me every day, how many more papers will I have to sign? Well, are you at 200 yet? It's about 200.
California it's a very green state that kills a lot of trees and paperwork.
Yeah, right, exactly. Thank goodness everything's digital now.
All right, so so anything that you want to tell, I'm going to ask you my favorite question next, but before that, anything that you want to give them insight about this market that you've been able to be successful in?
It's always the same thing. It's hard work. You can never get around the hard work of real estate. I think that maybe once someone's had a 15, 20-year career and their phone rings, good for them, bless their hearts. But if you've been at this for less than 10 years or like me, 6, my phone rings occasionally, but if I don't go out there and make it happen, it's not going to ring. So you just have to keep working hard. That's it. The harder you work, the luckier you get. That's definitely my mantra for what's happening right now.
I love it. Yeah, make the phone ring. I used to joke with my team and say, guys, the phone works both ways. Incoming and
totally.
Outgoing. Yeah. All right, so give me your top 3 then. Okay, so we know it's hard work, and that's critically important. And I'm glad that you said that. Less than 10 years, because that is a big milestone.
Yeah.
5 years is a big one, right? And then 10 years is a really big one, too. So tell me your top 3 things to be successful. What would they be?
So the second one would be to have faith, because this is definitely a business of faith. It's sometimes they think how strange that we can work and work and work and maybe not get paid. I could work for months. I could work for a few years with someone. And if I don't end up closing on a house with them, I'm technically not going to get paid for any of the time that I spent with them. So you have to have faith and keep putting the smile on your face and going out. And my husband loves to tell the story about this treasure hunter down in South Florida. And every day for 16 years, he would say, today's the day, today's the day. And can you imagine investors and his crew and even himself and his own self-talk for 16 years? He had to have faith that he was going to find that treasure. And it ended up being like $500 million in treasure, and they have a museum down in Key West for it. But so It's very much like that, and then also to treat it like fishing. You're casting a pole every day. You're using bait, whatever your bait may be, open houses, calling your sphere of influence, if you have some kind of a lead gen system, whatever it is. Going out and having coffee with people, you're fishing, and sometimes you're going to catch a fish, sometimes the fish is going to steal the bait and swim away, and sometimes they're going to get hooked, and you just have to keep on keeping on in order to, have faith in yourself and just keep going.
Awesome. I love it. Cool. So the first one would be hard work, make the phone ring, I wrote down. Second one would be I wrote down have faith, take the steps, and what would you say for a third one?
And then the third one, can it be believe in yourself? I mean, you chose this career, and if you do the action that it takes to be successful every single day, no matter what, whether you're in the mood or not, eventually someone will buy a house or sell a house with you. I do believe that. So just keep believing in yourself and stay positive. That's one that was important for me this year because I had some deals at the beginning of the year that worked out. One fish ate the bait and swam away. And I had to pick myself back up and dust myself off and know that I'm great at what I do and I love what I do. So I had to just go find someone else that wanted to buy a house with me. And now I'm reaping the rewards of that.
That's awesome. Yeah, believe in yourself. And I would say, based on, you've been in the business 60 years, you had one great advantage is you really knew the area because you grew up there. But it sounds to me like not only in the actions you're taking, but I would say number 3, believe in yourself. And I would even say be confident. That's what it sounds like you are. Very confident about who you are and what you do. Yeah.
Right. No, I totally agree with that because, I have confidence in my ability to help my clients get the house that they want and also find it for them. I had clients last week that gave me very little information with a wide price range, $700,000 to $1.5 million. And they basically said, here are the 2 days you can show us houses. This is the price range. We really just want a sampling of homes. So I call that an education day where I teach them either about the different areas. They were focusing on one particular city and, 2 houses into it, they were like, wow, you really picked, you really understood. I called them right before. I said, do I need to know anything else? Does it, have to have a certain direction that it faces or something? They were like, no, just the price point in the city. That's good enough. And they kept telling me houses, and now we're focusing on a 1.5 million to make an offer on. So that's wonderful. We went from just a sampling education day to them being like, wow, you really nailed it. And that's because I know the inventory. I had tons of information about every house that I showed them. Any questions that they had, I immediately was on the phone with the agent. If someone wants information, I'm all about getting the more information they have, the easier it is for them to make a decision. So, just answering their questions and knowing it. And that's what I think you don't really know the inventory or the areas as a new agent. So I always say real estate begets more real estate. So the more you're out there showing and doing, the more you know for the next people that want you to show and answer questions.
Right. So you're just like super educated about your market, which translates into confidence.
Yeah, exactly.
I would call it confidence and competence because they can tell right away when you're not confident. Right.
Oh, totally. Yeah, absolutely. If you're shuffling your papers or you just did, when I'm showing houses, I call it the show. and customer service is high on it. I make sure they're comfortable and, just they have the information there in their hands. I have more information in my hands, and we're going to go find a house. If they really want to buy one, unless they're a fake buyer, which do exist, I'm going to find them a house and we're going to get it.
Right. That's great. We're going to get it. I love it. And I'm going to add a fourth for you. I'm going to add a fourth for you, and I'd like you to tell them this because I heard you mention you have goals, obviously, right? So that's kind of You mentioned like I want to have 5 pending. So tell us a little about, because it sounds like you have affirmations. It sounds like you have a schedule, and it sounds like you have goals. So tell us a little about that too, please.
Well, as far as my goals go, I'm always aiming to do 20 million. I truly would be happy anywhere between 12 and 20. But I just like the sound of that, and that'll help keep me winning the awards. So I like the trophies too.
Of course you do.
Right?
Yeah, you'd be crazy not to, right?
Yeah, exactly. So, I break that down. If I do 20 million, then I have to do 5 a quarter. And that kind of helps keep me fueled. I pay very close attention to my numbers. I know exactly where I'm at. I know exactly where they came from. I can even tell, like, okay, well, I've got this many from these sources, so that means my phone's about to ring with a client or a friend referring someone, and what do you know? Within the next 3 days, that's exactly what happens. So I think it's really important to pay attention to your numbers and where your revenue is coming from so you know where to focus on.
Right. That's such a great point. You're running this like a business, Darci. That's what you're doing.
Amazing, isn't it?
Yes. Oh my God.
Right. It'd be too much work otherwise. Because in the beginning you wonder, I really would wonder, okay, I just sold 5 houses. Where's my next house going to come from? And I didn't know, and that was annoying to me because then I didn't know what to do next. And that's exactly, it is a business, and it's this amazing business where we can make tons of money, where our brokerages are the ones who are paying for the storefront and the giant printer, and the receptionist, and, so we should only be very grateful for the opportunity that has been presented to us with this amazing Berkshire Hathaway name attached to it, to go out there and just do our best. Every day. That's not too much to ask.
No, it's not. It's funny you say that too, because when I started the business in 1985, I was on a 50-50 split, and I thought it was the best thing ever because of everything you just mentioned. And now the business has morphed into these incredible splits. But you're right. If you're going to run a business, a brand's important, tools are important, your managers, all that stuff, and I think people forget that. So thanks for bringing that up. I appreciate it.
Yeah, and speaking of managers, we're very lucky. I know out of both the Indian Wells, Palm Desert, which is my office, and the Palm Springs office have really dedicated managers who are there to help us absolutely, and even if for some reason my manager's out of town, the other managers are willing to step in and help. And it's really just a wonderful organization where everybody cares about our success.
Well, thank you. Yes. And you're a joy to work with because you have confidence, competence, but a real heavy dose of humility. And I can see why people want to work with you because I can see you putting their needs, taking that fiduciary responsibility very seriously.
Yeah. No, now, their home search is absolutely a priority to me.
Yeah. And it's very obvious. And you can just feel why people would want to work with you because you're on top of it, positive, the area. Now I have to ask you, since your husband used to be in real estate training, does he help you out at all, or is he?
So yes, he absolutely is helpful. When we first got into real estate, we thought we would do it together, but the sales cycle is a little too long for him, and his sales training schedule, as I'm sure you can relate, was very grueling. They want you to be kind of everywhere at once. Yeah, and so when I ended up realizing how much I love it, I said, you know what, you just support me in any way that you can. So I definitely tell him my conversations, he helps me word my emails, things like that. But he's really just incredibly supportive and you know, he's kind of a house snob too. He likes to step in when the houses are over $1 million. Who doesn't want to help when it's a beautiful home? But yeah, if I can't be two places at once, he'll definitely go, you know, and open up a house for an inspection for me or something like that, meet someone and help out that way. But because I was his princess for so long, I like to treat him like mine now. It's our little joke. I say, oh, you just stay home. I'm going to go show 10 houses, but dinner better be ready when I'm done. And you know what? Dinner's ready. Yeah, so it's awesome. It's the best of both worlds.
Awesome. It is. Awesome. Well, I know you have your inspection, and we're right at 26 minutes anyway. So, Darci, just want to say thank you very much for taking your time out today. Really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me,
awesome.
Rick. Thank you.
My pleasure. Keep it rocking. All right. Have a great day,
okay,
everybody.
Will do. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.